Alright people, welcome back to another video on this YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be giving you guys two base links that have been working really well for myself and others in low, mid, high legends, you name it, these bases will provide. So I'm going to show you guys the base, explain the traps a little bit, explain how it's working, show you guys a replay. The base links will be in the description of this video. So let's get straight into the bases. So here is the first base that I'm going to show you guys. This base is from Soul's Legend sub this month, and it has been giving him and others really good defense, well within the top 200 and below. Now here are some of the screenshots of defenses that I could find for this base in the sub. Anyways, the general idea with this base is, of course, you have the two large damage rage towers. Now, these are obviously aiming to overwhelm the Root Riders in the attack. As you can see in some of these compartments, we have a double ricochet cannon in this compartment over here, and a ricochet cannon in this rage compartment over here. Now, this base is solely built to defend Root Riders, and that's why you're seeing these ricochet cannons in the rage towers. Normally, inside of a rage tower, you'd have a multi-arch tower, as it kind of does the best of both worlds, trying to defend dragons and Root Riders. But as you can see for this base, he has both all the ricochet cannons in the rage towers, which tells us that he's trying to defend only Root Riders with this base. Now, the second thing on this base is the really isolated Town Hall. Now, that makes overgrowthing it and other defenses a real big pain, because as you can see, say you wanted to overgrowth the Town Hall and maybe these defenses here inside of this rage tower, it's going to be a very big stretch. You could force a mistake such as missing the overgrowth on the Town Hall, or of course you would only need to overgrowth the Town Hall and that's it, which is pretty bad overgrowth value, and that of course could cause the Root Riders to be overwhelmed by the amount of damage around the outside of the base. So of course it is a ring base, so he wants the Root Riders to go around in a ring around this Town Hall. The Town Hall is going to be hitting the Root Riders, and then he wants to overwhelm the attacker with these two rage towers here. Now we have the merge cannon here and the crusher mortar right here, and they're kind of isolated away from the rest of the base. Now he wants to use this as kind of like a section where all the Root Riders need to go through the crusher mortar and all the Root Riders need to go through the merge cannon. So of course he's trying to get 100% efficiency out of those two defenses. Then he has the two heroes situated right near these two defenses and near the rage towers, so that say if someone entered with the Root Riders from down here, you know, this Expo, they went to the Fire Spitter, this Minion Prince would jump into this rage tower, be raged up and deal a lot of damage. Now of course he's got the Giga Bomb inside of this rage tower here, and that is trying to deter any Spirit Walks, but also really boost the damage that this rage tower can do. So let's take a quick look at the traps, and as you can see, he's got most of his traps down here at the Monolith. Now this was the most popular entry, tested of course, and as you can see we have the giant bombs and the Nado. He wants people to enter into this monolith like this. As you can see, once we go to this wizard tower, the Tesla, the mortar, get hit by all of those bombs, get hit by the Nado, and potentially not get enough value from the RC charge. Secondly, we have the Skelly traps around the ricochet cannons. This is a really good combo, especially against like the king or the queen on the outside of the base, where the ricochet cannons are going to stall up, the Skelly spells are going to stall up the heroes, and the ricochet cannons are going to do a whole lot of damage. Then he has the red bombs on the outside of the base here. Now he wants people to enter into this mono, then he wants people to enter with the Root Riders into this wizard tower here, move like this through the base, move like this through the base, and then when he comes to this section here, you're going to get hit with all these red bombs, and you may lose your healers. Of course, he has the double sweeper facing on the opposite direction of the Fire Spitter, which is quite a key thing in base building. So that is the base. Let's get into the replay of an attacker. Okay, so here is the replay we're going to watch for this base. We're going to put it in 4x speed just for the start here, the RC charge. This player Taco is going to go into this Expo and multi-arch tower compartment. There is a tweak of this base, a further tweak of this base from this version here on the Discord. So yeah, that's in the description if you want to check that out. Anyways, he decides to go into this rage tower, which is the first mistake that this attacker makes. There's way too much damage at the start for these Root Riders, and they're going to get very quickly overwhelmed. And as you can see, he's going to force a mistake here from the attacker, and he gets very scared, very cautious with all this rage damage, and there you go, he pops the Warden ability, far too early, and now he's in a state of panic. He's kind of, you know, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? Now, this is where the genius of the base really shows, right? These ice golems now are coming out, they're under poison, but as you can see, the ice golems catch the root riders at just the perfect time, to where the multi-mortar or the mega mortar, whatever it's called, is just slowly chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. It snipes the apprentice warden there, so he loses 20% health, which is really, really significant. He's got the minion prince there. The RC is managing to stay alive just about to the RC, and there you go, she goes down. Now he's in a really, really bad spot here, obviously. He's got like a couple of root riders left. The town hall is still chipping away, and it's not looking good for the 2-star whatsoever. The king and queen do still have the abilities on the outside of the base, and the root riders open up that wall. Sorry, one root rider manages to open up that wall there, and let's see, is that Yeti going to be enough? No, not even close. So the second overgrowth is going to wear off in just a moment. The queen's still going around the outside. The king still has ability, and he's about to go outside, and no, he's not. So the king goes in. Right, what's this here? The king goes in. The queen still has ability. For some reason, he has the giant arrow, and he didn't use the giant arrow. I guess he wasn't thinking right at the start of the attack. He was just worried about his root riders there. And that is what defense is really all about. It's forcing these mistakes from the attackers, and that leads to fails, you know, most times out of 10. Anyways, as you can see, it's not looking good whatsoever for the 2-star here, but the king takes the turn into the town hall. He has the ability, he gets some damage reduction, the queen gets sniped, and just barely he gets the town hall down as soon as the monolith, and then obviously the monolith retargets, and it is a fail. So he got very lucky to get the 2-star there. Again, this is the older version, the tweaked version is on the Discord, so that was the best replay that we could find. So yeah, let's get into the next base. So here is the next base that I'm going to show you guys. This base is more designed for mid to low legends, and it was tweaked by me, originally built by Wolfie last season. And the general idea here is to throw off people with this Invis tower in the core. Now from the first look, it does seem as if you can trigger it from the clan castle, maybe the Inferno, maybe the poison tower, but actually it's only attached to the town hall. So I'm trying to throw people off with this Invis tower in the core there. It's a little bit weird. Some people won't have seen it before, but it was quite a common style with an Itsu base a few seasons back now. The general idea here is that this bottom section is full of damage. You've got all 4 heroes. You have the poison spell tower. You have the the crusher mortar. I always get that name wrong. We have these 2 ricochet cannons, the 2 scatter shots, and the 2 multi-infernos, which aim to support these scatter shots. Of course, we also have the CC in this bottom compartment here. Now, let's look at the traps quickly to show the next part of the base. We did put all of the traps behind the fire spitters, and that is simply because the most common entry by far was spirit walking into this section here and going with the root riders into this section here. Now, as you can see, I've put all of the red bombs here. I kind of worked out exactly where they were placing their healers and their balloons, and sometimes you can bait all of their healers with those red bombs there. And then we have this single Inferno right here, which really can catch some people off guard. As well, the mono is quite tucked away into the base, so it's quite difficult to spirit walk and get to. We have the Nado over here trying to trap the spirit walk a little bit, slow it down. There's not a lot of space for bombs on this base, which is the biggest issue. However, the compact damage is really good against Rage Gem root riders and other root rider variations as well. So that is the base. Let's get into a replay. So unfortunately, the replay I wanted to show you guys has become invalid. That's because the replay was from a couple of days ago now, and as I've moved into higher legends, I've switched away from this base because people know how to deal with the Invis tower in higher legends. We're going to watch this guy do this attack with drags. Unfortunately, it's not quite the replay I wanted to show you guys, which really demonstrates how good the traps can be on this base. But nonetheless, this is what we have. I'm pretty limited with my options. But yeah, we're going to watch this guy attack this base with dragons. So as we expected, he's going with the spirit walk behind the fire spitters. This is what we want to happen because that's where we have all of our bombs. As you can see, the Giga Bomb throws him off target a little bit there, and it's going to lure him down to the bottom side of this base, as opposed to taking down the monolith. He has the haze vial, so he pops that, and he's got no poison tower on this side, so he's not going to be slowed down. So he is able to get a significant amount of value from the spirit charge. Now you may think, wow, he's taken out already about 50% of all the targets on the base. However, because the damage is so compact for these dragons, it's really not tricky to get through any kind of back end on this base. He uses one bad invis there. He doesn't have a poison for the furnace, which is going to cost him a little bit later in the attack. However, he's thinking now, where's he going to put his dragons? Well, the obvious answer is he's going to go behind the other fire spitter. Now he's trying to line up a giant arrow here, as you can see on these two air defenses, but I'm pretty sure that he misses it in a second here. Let's see. Oh, he's not using... Well, he didn't use the giant arrow. Anyways, looks like he panicked the giant arrow now. And as I said, this this multi-inferno really can catch people off guard. It's able to snipe the giant early on. The ice columns are out on the queen. He's going to try and blimp the town hall, which is a bit of a mistake because you still have the invis to help it in the core, but he does find quite a nice trick. Anyways, as you can see, he has lost the queen to that inferno. He wasn't paying attention whatsoever, and he uses the ice block spell to freeze the yetis in place. However, he has nothing to trigger the invis. Honestly, I've got no idea what triggered it there. Oh, maybe he left one yeti outside of the ice block spell. But as you can see, even then, the town hall is being really annoying here, and his drags are in a really bad spot coming into the back end of the space. Remember, he's still got 2 heroes to get through. I'm not sure where the RC and the minion prince have gone, but the king is doing great work tanking there. Of course, the multi-mortar can't help out, and these dragons now are under the poison effect. There's not a lot of base left. However, the scatter shot and the multi-inferno is doing a lot of work, especially considering that most of the base was frozen up there for a moment. And as you can see, we have a lot of dense traps in these areas. We've got seeking air mines and all the rest of it. So he does lose the minion prince in just a moment here. And as you can see, although it looked like quite a convincing attack, it's not going to be enough to get through the space. And it's actually going to be quite a low percent because he's lost all of his dragons already, and he's got no force coming into this back end, although he has taken down most of the key targets on the base. He's ran out of time and he's out of options. I'm sure this would have tripled if he had a little bit longer, but there you go, he finds some seeking air mines, and there we go, he runs out of time, and it is a nice little +15 for me in Legends. So there we go, there is the 2 bases for you guys. I hope they can give you some good defenses in Legends League. I'd recommend using the first base at around about ranks, let's say 10k, all the way up to about top 1k, and then generally in top 1k, most base is going to struggle, but it still could work. There is a tweaked version of that base in Cell's base sub. I'm going to link his Discord in the description. If you want to join his sub, I think it's $20 a month. And there is a tweaked version of that base, which I think is a little bit stronger than the version that I showed you guys today. And then the second base is specifically for people who are in lower Legends. Let's say rank, I don't know, 100,000, all the way up to around about rank 10k. I was using that base in around top 2k, and it was actually working really well. But now I'm well within the top like 300 right now, so I have since switched away from that base. But anyways, that's enough from me for today. If you guys did like this video, then make sure to leave a like. And if you did like this kind of content, I'm going to be posting similar videos every single day at 16 UTC. We're going to be back again tomorrow with my live Legends hits, so I will see you then.